Hello all, and welcome to the broadcast today, SUSE presentation on the modern cloud native enterprise. We're going to give it another minute or so for people to join, so if you'll just hang tight, we'll get started shortly. Okay, again, welcome. We'll go ahead and get started. My name is Brent Schroeder. I had the Office of the CTO for SUSE. I've been with SUSE for about 6.5 years now, and a lot of exciting things happening at SUSE in the industry, and we're really looking forward to sharing that information with you. We're going to be pretty high level, but really want to focus today on who SUSE is and what our value propositions are, and how that helps you drive adoption and business value as you move to a cloud native first and cloud native modern enterprise. With me today, I've got two gentlemen, and I'll let them introduce themselves. Cameron.
Hi, I'm Cameron Cedar. I've been a technologist for over 25 years, working in mainframes and open platforms for many years. So, been with SUSE for nearly 20 years now, working as a director of solution architect team.
Very good. Thank you, Cameron. Aaron.
You bet.
Yeah, so I'm Jeroen van Erp. I am actually the most recent joiner here. I joined SUSE 6 months ago with the acquisition of StackState, the observability tool that SUSE acquired earlier this year. Been a technologist also for 25 years, and at SUSE I'm nowadays a technical advocate.
Great, thank you very much. All right, well, let's dive in. So I want to start with just a little context of some SUSE customers and the impact that they're seeing in their business as we move forward. Office Depot, they're a customer of ours, and they were challenged to drive, their IT organization was challenged to drive growth through better customer experiences, minimizing costs, and maximizing impact of their new solutions. Office Depot's IT team turned to SUSE for their go-forward Linux platform and to manage their heterogeneous hybrid cloud environment, enabling them to cut management costs by 40% and accelerate investment in innovation. Swimlane is a leader in AI-enhanced automation for enterprise security organizations, and they leverage SUSE solutions to elevate their zero trust program and enhance automation on AWS EKS. As a result of this joint solution, Swimlane has improved the efficiency, performance, and scalability of its Kubernetes and containerized cloud workloads. And then NMDP, and this is probably the one that's probably the most heartfelt. NMDP is providing digital services to patients with blood cancer and other disorders. And they transformed their IT infrastructure by moving to a modern CI/CD pipeline built on Kubernetes and Rancher. NMDP has reduced AWS costs by 50%, improved developer productivity, and boosted availability of their online systems. And this has also freed up money to spend elsewhere toward their mission in contributing to more than 20,000 lives impacted since deploying SUSE solutions. So that's some of the impacts that our customers are seeing to their business as they adopt SUSE solutions. And we spend a lot of time meeting with customers, with analysts such as IDC and Gartner, and we know that there are a number of challenges facing IT organizations today. But I think there's 4 that really stand out that capture some of the most pressing needs of companies trying to modernize and accelerate their business value. Let's start with one that's always on the top of mind, and that's optimizing costs. We've all been there, and in most cases, if we're being honest, we will always be there. The challenge of do more with less. You must control costs while delivering increasingly demanding customer experiences. You need to maximize your operational simplicity to get the most from your team. And challenges in IT complexity and innovation have grown faster than budgets, which this is what creates the constant pressure to make trade-offs. You may be looking at, do I stay in the cloud or do I need to repatriate workloads for which the cloud is just too expensive? You want to deploy new technologies to deliver differentiated experiences, but do you have the skill sets ready and the available budget to invest in those modernization initiatives? The second one is modernization. As pressure to innovate increases, so too does the need to quickly modernize applications and infrastructure. New technology from bleeding edge to mainstream at an ever-increasing pace. Consider how fast generative AI is moving from avant-garde to ubiquity. It may well be a record. Feats like that have revamped pressure on CIOs to not just modernize, but to modernize faster. And to do this, you have to have an infrastructure that can support emerging technologies. You also have to have a team that isn't anchored in maintenance mode. So while you're adding AI to everything, you need to move your application estate forward, and this means re-architecting your highest priority apps and moving them to a distributed cloud-native architecture. Yet not all traditional apps benefit from or justify modernizing. So these apps must coexist and connect to your modern solutions. As with any disruptive change in modernization, cybersecurity continues to be top of mind. For as long as there is value to be gained, there will be bad actors. Global cyber crime now costs businesses over $6 trillion annually. No wonder cybersecurity continues to be a top of mind issue. Along with the modern evolving applications and infrastructure, the security threat landscape is constantly evolving with them. You must secure what you've locked down on your software supply chain. Are you able to quickly respond to zero-day attacks and have visibility and governance to ensure compliance with your regulatory and corporate policies? Do you have a layered, pluggable architecture that can maintain security and compliance while keeping up with the business needs? And then finally, as I've already touched on, everybody is talking about AI. Generative AI is a challenge for every organization to adjust to. More people in your organization will be using computing more often in more different ways. And this creates opportunity, but it also introduces new challenges IT organizations need to be ready for. So how can you leverage it to truly add value to your business while at the same time avoiding risks? This requires experimentation and a flexible approach to fail fast and change course often. Do you have an open IT architecture that enables rapid trial and adoption of new technologies? So these are just a few of the challenges that are in front of you. And SUSE has put forth a vision and a mission to really focused on helping customers with these challenges and moving forward. SUSE is rooted in a very simple idea that open source has infinite potential, and that infinite potential can be brought to the enterprise. We are committed to realizing the full potential of open source technology within the enterprise by fostering collaboration, resource sharing, encouraging innovation. We aim to deliver solutions that meet the demanding requirements of large-scale organizations. Our expertise lies in transforming raw open source materials into sophisticated enterprise-grade software solutions. We understand the critical role technology plays in today's complex business environment, and are dedicated to providing our customers with choice, reliability, and performance they need to succeed. And this takes effort, mastery, and experience in the open source community. We know what enterprise grade means. Our customers have cross-border just-in-time supply chains. They may have solutions that require zero downtime, and perhaps even lives are at stake. If that is you, you need choice of the best innovations there are, always. And our mission is to give you that. So SUSE gives you choice necessary to successfully address your challenges, turning innovative open source building blocks of Linux, Kubernetes, and AI into truly enterprise open infrastructure platforms. What is a true open infrastructure platform? By open, we mean open source and open choice. Openness that facilitates a pluggable architecture that enables you to weave together your complex heterogeneous ecosystem into an integrated whole for the enterprise. Choice that gives you flexibility to make the best decisions for your organization. While some businesses say they're open, often they dictate vertical integration that can lock you in. SUSE's open infrastructure platform consists of the following solutions: powerful open solutions with SUSE Linux Enterprise Server and SUSE Rancher Prime. And we uniquely integrate and manage the full lifecycle of third-party variants of Linux and Kubernetes as well. Our focus on openness and interoperability enables you to realize operational savings, enabling more investment in modernization. While Linux and Kubernetes are the industry standards for OS and containers, there isn't a single standard AI solution today. This means you need the flexibility to choose the best fit for purpose solution for your business. Our open infrastructure AI platform enables you to privately deploy and secure the AI solution of your choice, and then adapt as needed. And as your modernization extends to the edge, you can leverage all the powerful capabilities of our open infrastructure platforms in SUSE Edge, a purpose-built solution optimized for the smaller footprint of edge, securely delivering full stack management at scale. With these solutions, SUSE delivers three key differentiating value propositions that help make you successful. First, following our mission to give you choice, our solutions are open and enterprise ready. In today's IT environment, choice is a necessity, as nearly every enterprise has a heterogeneous infrastructure across services, operating systems, and container ecosystems. SUSE's location and device agnostic platforms provide an open foundation for your hybrid and multi-cloud environments. We further empower choice, bringing together the infrastructure and operations of heterogeneous vendors and diverse workloads to unify your Linux, container, and virtual machine infrastructure. This dramatically simplifies operation and support, accelerates your modernization initiatives, and provides your business choice to cost optimize where and on what your applications run. Your enterprise also depends on the reliability and predictability of your infrastructure. SUSE provides a consistent code everywhere, predictable release cycles, and long-term support you need to maximize uptime for your mission-critical applications, such as an SAP environment. Let's take a look at this heterogeneity in action. So Cameron's going to join me in kind of looking at how does SUSE's solution deliver on this value proposition, and how are we different from other vendors in the industry. Cameron, why don't you take us
Yeah,
through what we're seeing here?
absolutely. Thanks, Brent. So what we're seeing here is a typical large enterprise where you might have a diverse set of workloads and operating systems. This is the management platform to manage multiple Linuxes anywhere. And you need a simple and easy method to Linuxes anywhere. And this is a dashboard that gives you that.
So Cameron, I may often have, thousands of systems in my environment, tens of thousands. How do
Yeah,
I organize
yeah.
them and really get a handle on what I've got and what's healthy, what's not healthy, etc.
So you can use the system group function within the platform to provide the level of organization that you need and working with a set of scalable actions across the board. So you begin with creating your own groups, assigning those systems to those groups as you onboard them into the environment. It's a multi-layered approach. It gives you flexibility to your organization to handle your most complex targeted systems. And you can manage those systems through the various unions and intersections of those groups as you actually can assign systems to more than one group as well, giving you even deeper flexibility across the entire portfolio that you have.
Okay, an example of that?
So if you go to the next slide, in here we're actually looking at the result of an intersection of of the instances of Amazon, instances running in Amazon, and the RHEL-based systems that we had. We've taken that intersection, and this is now a subset of that intersection that shows those systems that both are RHEL-based systems and running in. And you can manage, configure, apply any type of software lifecycle to them, etc.
Okay, so might be a surprise to many people managing a RHEL system on an Amazon environment. Definitely targeted at the heterogeneity that enterprises often face. And if obviously if I've got more than just RHEL or just SUSE, and I'm in a heterogeneous hybrid cloud environment, how does that look?
Yeah, so going back to the system groups, there was a system group in there that was all SUSE systems, and this is drilling down into that particular group where you can manage all of them. It doesn't matter where they live. They could be literally anywhere in the public cloud, on-prem, but you're managing them from that single dashboard, no matter where they live. Applying the same approach to taking action against patches and updates and any other types of administrative tasks that you would do from this dashboard. Any day two operations, configuration management, managing the state of the system, understanding the inventory of the environment. Kind of.
So I can do that full lifecycle management and everything that I need to do to a system against a heterogeneous environment?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
The
Excellent.
tool offers that pretty seamlessly, pretty easily as well.
Mm-hmm. So what do we see here? Is this kind of giving us greater insight into that system and what I can do with it?
Yeah, yeah, this is looking at drilling down into a single system. Again, being able to take the same actions on a single system, but giving you more details, right? Giving
Mm-hmm.
you details into the inventory. When that system was first onboarded, you can see the inventory of information that has been provided back to the platform so that you can actually take actions against that inventory, such as your lifecycle of patches and updates, looking at your configuration management that's been applied across the board, and any other conditions that you want to look at.
Okay. And so just whether I want to do it at one system or many, uh, what kind of range
Exactly.
can we go scale to in managing that environment?
Great questions. There's, our customers range from managing tens to hundreds to even thousands, and in some cases, tens of thousands of systems, all from our portfolio, which is actually quite amazing,
Yeah.
that in terms of that capability. So we have uh, multiple abilities in terms of architectures to manage that scale.
Mhm. Okay. Well, that's been a good kind of check on what that differentiation is from others in the industry and how to support a heterogeneous Linux environment, which I said probably matches most companies, enterprises in the industry. Now, if I want to
Yeah.
switch to cloud native, uh,
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about how we apply that same methodology to cloud native.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. In the SUSE portfolio, we apply a similar theme, if you will, managing all of your Kubernetes clusters anywhere, right? It's the same similar approach. And the infrastructure gives you the ability to manage those clusters in your public cloud. Could be any of the public cloud vendors, on-prem, on multiple virtualization platforms, whether it's VMware or KVM, Nutanix, Oxide Computer, OpenStack, and others, and there may be new ones coming on. But you can manage this directly from the same platform. You can open a shell into your Kubernetes cluster directly from the platform, uh, having kube control access directly to make configuration changes. You can obtain different types of output from the cluster. In addition to that, you can download your kube config file directly to your desktop so that you can use and manage clusters remotely. And you can take snapshots of the state of the cluster or rotate certificates, many
Okay,
different tasks directly using the dashboard.
great. And again, across any of those environments, that's amazing. Uh,
Yeah,
and this gives us just a little drill down into that.
yeah, exactly. So if we configure the cluster, we can manage one of the most heavy lifting tasks in Kubernetes, and that is how do I get to the next version? How do I upgrade? And we've made that really easy just by drilling into the configuration of the cluster and selecting the next version release that you want to move to and saving that. And after that action is completed, the system would kick off on the cluster a shuffling those workloads and then doing an upgrade of one node at a time or however that was configured in your environment. And then it would cordon off those nodes, reboot them, and register without interrupting any services that are running in your Kubernetes cluster.
Okay,
So that's a
very
really
good.
powerful tool at your
Yeah,
disposal there.
okay. And I know we're just scratching the surface just to give people a flavor, but again, the value here in
Yeah,
open and enterprise ready, anywhere, any distribution, and delivering enterprise grade lifecycle management. Uh, I talk to a lot of customers. That's where CTO stands for Chief Travel Officer. And many of the cloud native first customers I talk to are telling us that they would like an alternative virtualization platform to bring traditional VMs that haven't been or can't be modernized into the same management context as their containerized applications. Can you tell us a little bit
yeah,
about the capabilities SUSE brings to that situation?
yeah. It's certainly a conversation we have weekly, sometimes daily.
Yeah.
And absolutely, in the same dashboard as you're explaining, literally it's you you can select your virtual machine management and drill down into the virtual machines that you are managing and your virtual machine clusters. In this particular case, I'm looking at some virtual machines that's running on a cluster. And these virtual machines could be literally anything. It could be SUSE Linux Enterprise, it could be a Red Hat based system, it could be a system that is Windows running inside the platform. The idea is that you can manage any one of those enterprise workloads that you had running in another platform. But also taking that a step further. This approach allows for your platform engineering teams to integrate a full breadth of automation tooling, security, lifecycle management that's available through many different types of projects that are available in the CNCF today. Or you can take the ones that are curated by SUSE using our application collection, or some that are delivered through third parties. It allows you to extend the environment and apply automation to the platform in a better way and a more flexible way than you've been able to do through other traditional virtualization platforms of the past.
Fantastic. Yeah, I think that this could really, help those customers that are on that modernization journey and reduce the number of tools that they've got to do, and the unification of the infrastructure definitely would help them drive costs. All right, well, let's transition back to kind of a customer of ours I already mentioned. Office Depot's IT team was challenged with driving the customer growth or company growth, as I mentioned. And upon review, their team recognized that simplifying its hybrid cloud heterogeneous operating system environment would allow them to better standardize operations and spend more time, budget, and resources on developing innovative solutions for growth. Office Depot decided to use SUSE Linux Enterprise Server as their primary operating system on their private cloud and in their on-premise data centers. And instead of ripping out over 350 legacy enterprise servers of various vendors to create a homogeneous stack, Office Depot utilized SUSE's multi-Linux manager to centralize management to push releases out to their 1,200 plus store environment, automate updates for in-store servers running over 5,000 point of sale registers, and provide patch management over the legacy systems. And by centralizing mixed platform management, Office Depot has saved over 40% in their operational management costs, reducing the cost of retail store IT overhead, delivering a lower cost competitive position for the business. Additionally, when asked how SUSE has impacted the IT team, George Woods, their director of IT application infrastructure, explained even their time spent in the operations role will continue to move more to a DevOps model. And they're now able to reallocate more of their time along with core engineers to do more innovative development and value-add engineering activities rather than day-to-day operations. So this is a customer that's living the heterogeneous environment, has adopted the SUSE solutions, and is recognizing significant cost savings and organizational productivity gains. So let's go on to the next key value proposition, and that's a top of mind topic to everybody these days, and that is SUSE's focus on ensuring everything we deliver has a security-first approach. SUSE has pioneered a rigorous, secure, open source build process combined with the highest levels of certification for FIPS, Common Criteria, and SLSA, protecting you from supply chain attacks and delivering solutions you can trust to run in your environment. But ensuring SUSE's products are secure and compliant isn't sufficient. You must secure, govern, and enforce corporate and regulatory compliance across your heterogeneous infrastructure. SUSE helps you do this with unique capabilities like unified lifecycle management across Linux and Kubernetes, and powerful runtime and network visibility capabilities utilizing automated behavior learning for a zero trust architecture. So let's again dive into taking a quick look at some of these capabilities in particular in areas that were significantly differentiated from alternative solutions in the market. So Cameron, back to you.
Yeah, thank you, Brent. Yeah, absolutely. As we look at, again, those diverse set of workloads that enterprises manage today, a task that most organizations kind of tap dance around. I see it all the time in security. And security and auditing is one of those things that is a challenge. And when you are managing multiple, a heterogeneous environment, it can be difficult. And we try to make that really easy with this platform where it's all integrated and our platform can look inside each managed system through everything that's been inventoried and can reveal which systems are affected by a CVE. So looking at here, I'm scanning, I believe this is an SSL CVE here, and showing that result of the systems that are affected across all that I'm managing here. And you can actually output the data into a captured list, into a CSV file that you could export into, and deliver to your security team for review. That can be quite helpful during an audit process.
Right. Yeah, definitely accelerating. And, talking to customers, auditing is something they definitely are not a fan of. It's not a productive use of time, and so they want that to be done as quickly and as efficiently as possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's look a little bit at where we deliver those same values in a cloud native environment. Can you take us through
Okay.
some of the offerings there?
Yeah. On the cloud native side, so here we're looking at some of the many compliance checks that are available through our security platform that we provide. So built in, we have many different industry standard templates that you can select that can be applied, which encompass various CIS checks for Kubernetes and Docker and other CNCF certified CIS compliance. So these are a set of standards that have been applied across the system and are applied to groups within the system. Those groups contain containers or pods within Kubernetes cluster. And these checks can be applied to a host or a namespace as well. So, those kinds of checks are really, looking at threat-based level checks.
Yeah, very good. And if a company has, their specific extensions that they need to apply to an environment, are these customizable, extensible capabilities?
You can add your own. You can add your own type of check into the environment if you need to customize things, or you can take a look at what's there and make adjustments to the regulation or CIS checks that come with the system.
Yep, great. All right,
Absolutely.
the next place, a topic that's everybody's very sensitive to, data loss. What can we do to help customers in a data loss protection situation?
Yeah, this is, well, what's really great about our platform of tools is that we provide these capabilities out of the box. It's built in. So what you're looking at here is one of the many inspection sensors that we do have, in addition to a web application firewall. That's another one, another set of sensors that we also have. But DLP allows our system to inspect the incoming and outgoing traffic to a group of pods or containers within Kubernetes. So it comes with a set of built-in sensors that are paired with our deep packet inspection capability inside the Kubernetes cluster. So it's looking for things like some sensitive information. If you're looking at the screenshot, it's looking for credit cards, social security numbers, is another one. So these particular sensors that are built in will check for those directly inside of the network traffic using that deep packet inspection.
All right, great.
So in addition, I said we have the web application firewall, which uses the same deep packet inspection to inspect all the traffic at any layer, not just web traffic, right? There's a lot of other tools out there that will just look at it from web traffic, but we're looking at all layers of the traffic. But in both cases, you have the ability to create rules or edit those rules and apply your own regular expressions, as you see at the bottom of that screenshot. So you can apply your own pattern to try to match things that are coming off of the network there.
Okay, very good. All right, well, let's continue our journey through here. I know one of the things I talk about a lot is the need for zero trust in today's world, right? Is because you don't know what the next threat is going to be and where it's going to come from and what it's going to impact.
Yeah.
Take through a little bit of that.
Yeah, here we're looking at the security policy groups, which are automatically created from from all the running applications you might have in a Kubernetes cluster. And it's based on those container images that you have in the cluster. So the platform starts out with discovering and then creating those groups. And it does it really quickly. And then once you're past that discovery phase, you can either monitor or you can protect. And in order to do learning on the network and process the rules, you have to add them into this policy list. And so those get loaded up in there through that discovery phase. And you can select them once they've been learned, and you can put them in a protect mode, which would allow you to block those anything beyond the conditions that are in there, or you can monitor them, which should actually apply any type of alerts that would go outside of anything that is in that set of rules that have been defined.
Okay, very good. One last thing. Take us through kind of what this represents and how this helps the customer on managing that complex environment.
Yeah, something very unique in our platform. Like I was talking about earlier, we have the ability inside of a cluster to do deep packet inspection, and something unique about that is the graphical mapping that we provide of your containers and looking at the conversations between them. You can move all these objects around in this graphical view on the screen to better see the services and conversations that are happening within your cluster. But you can click on a line to see more detail about that service and what's happening, or even add a security rule to it. Or more specifically, you can click on a container object in this view, and you can see the details in real time of the connection information for that particular container. Or you can right click and you can perform various types of actions, such as doing a quarantine of a container, or you can put it into a protect mode, or you can do a packet capture in real time, which great troubleshooting tool. So it's an easy way for you to investigate container vulnerabilities if you think there's a problem going on, or you're alerted to something going on in the environment.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot for that overview. And then, I think one of the things we want to point out here, and I mentioned at the beginning, is cloud native really disrupts traditional security methodologies and a kind of border protection approach just isn't sufficient today with the vulnerabilities that are in place and the complex applications and the dynamic nature of a cloud native infrastructure. And so SUSE solutions really help you to provide a secure environment to build and operate those applications within. So let's touch on another customer of ours that is taken advantage of these capabilities. You know, Swim Lane, as I mentioned, they're a leader in AI-enhanced automation for enterprise security organizations. And they leverage SUSE's virtualization to enhance their AWS EKS security solution. Swim Lane leveraged SUSE's solutions to implement, or actually, Swim Lane implemented SUSE's virtualization layer 7 container firewall for cluster internal communications and integrated it with Turbine, their product, to automate vulnerability and compliance scanning. As a result, Swim Lane streamlined the enforcement of granular admission policies and strengthened its container security program, while gaining greater observability and control of the runtime of its cloud-native application stack. And with the Swim Lane Turbo cloud-native security automation platform and SUSE AWS and EKS, Swim Lane SOC team was able to automate the management of many multi-vector container security risks. This automated cloud security solution ensures that Swim Lane continuously secures its network, container hosts, and L7 container firewall to protect east-west traffic and ingress-egress traffic. In addition, Swim Lane now has a fully automated vulnerability and compliance scanning for configuration and container images in the build phase and registries. The Swim Lane SOC team now has a solution for vulnerability management and provides container protection against unauthorized process and file activity. So that's a tour of some of the key integrated security capabilities that we have. So let's now touch on the last topic, and that is SUSE's unmatched ease of use. Ease of use has always been a key differentiation of SUSE products, and at the rate of technological change, this is more critical than ever due to modernization skills shortages. We focus on enabling architects, platform engineers, and operations teams to rapidly achieve productivity, resulting in accelerated time to value, optimized operations, and helping mitigate the industry skill set gap. SUSE provides an intuitive user experience to automate critical tasks, including full stack deployment, lifecycle management, and operational observability. When coupled with our commitment to openness and interoperability, this enables more consistent, reliable operations across your enterprise. Managed together, you can optimize costs and increase productivity, enabling reinvestment in innovation. Joining me now, Eron is going to help us explore how SUSE is kind of resetting the bar on ease of use in the cloud native operations through integrated observability. One of the more complex challenges in scaling a cloud native environment. I'll hand it over to you. Take us away.
Thank you, Brent. So indeed, ease of use. Well, before we start with ease of use, also our observability tool fully embraces the open and enterprise readiness, right? Enterprises, heterogeneous environments with observability, like with SUSE or Rancher Prime, we're able to observe multiple clusters, whether they're on-premise, whether they're in the Google Cloud, whether they're in Amazon's cloud, whether they're even in Microsoft's cloud. We really don't care. As long as we can manage them, we can also observe each and every one of them. And that's what you're seeing here, right? We're seeing on the left-hand side a cluster running in GKE. On the right-hand side, we see a Rancher RK2 cluster that's actually running on-premise in a lab environment in this case. So all of those can actually be observed from that single pane of glass. So there's also no need to actually navigate between multiple instances of your observability tool. And contrary, what you see a lot happening is that for one environment, you have to look in one tool. For the other environment, you have to look in the same instance, but in the same tool, but in another instance of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, fantastic. So, let's really hit on the point of ease of use and how automated things can become.
Yeah, so ease of use, right? So what we call 0 to full observability within 5 minutes. You start off with SUSE observability, you install our agent, and within 5 minutes, you actually get complete observability. You get all of the telemetry data, you get all of the communication data, and from the get-go, we actually observe all of that and also qualify, is your system healthy, is your application healthy?
Mm-hmm.
So we provide those full insights, well, in these kind of topology pictures where you see greens, you see reds. Reds, of course, mean bad.
Yeah.
So, and what you're seeing actually is problem clusters appearing, right? Systems never live in isolation. Your services are not isolated. They're talking to each other, like Cameron also said earlier with security. There's a lot happening. So when there's a problem somewhere, how do you solve that? You need to look at the complete picture. So in order to reduce your MTTR, your mean time to repair, it's actually very important to know, how is my system built up?
Okay. And, this, I'm anticipating there's a lot of data that's coming at me here, and understanding how to interpret it and what to do with it is often very overwhelming.
Yeah, so indeed, that's why actually we defined monitors. So when you install observability out of the box, you get 50 plus of these industry best practice monitors that we actually give you to monitor and your environment. So like the data loss protection rules that come out of the box, there's a lot of monitors that also come out of the box that allow you to actually directly observe that environment and qualify, is it healthy, is it unhealthy? Like you're seeing here, well, we have CPU limits, CPU requests are monitored. We are looking at 500 error ratio. So is my service actually returning errors or not? And so you see in one glance, okay, are there services or resources actually unhealthy? Are some in a warning state, or are all clear? All of that, ease of use, directly at your fingertips information that doesn't need interpretation.
Okay, very impressive. And then to take action?
To take action,
I've got a problem. What am I going to do about
it? Well, then you actually dive in. So from the topology picture we showed 2 slides back, you can actually dive into each of these tailored highlight pages, what we call them. This is where all of that data comes together. So you see all of your Kubernetes metadata, you see events coming in that pertain to your service, but also to the environment of the application. You see all of the metrics coming together, all of that painted over time. So all of that data is pre-correlated. So the problem we often see in enterprises is that data is segregated. Data lives in isolation, right? You have your log gatherer where you can see your logs. You have your metrics dashboard where you can see your metrics. You might need to actually dive into your Kubernetes cluster to see the events. If all of that information is actually brought together, we can take the human out of the interpretation, the data interpretation cycle, and actually do that for him, allowing him to actually focus on the job that needs to be done, resolve an issue that's at hand. And why do we do this? It's because we're tailored not at that lowest level of your enterprise. The platform engineers, they're your experts. They know Kubernetes inside and out. They know They deliver that platform, they build that platform, they actually have all of that covered. However, those application developer teams that actually deliver your enterprise applications, that really deliver your business value, if they're empowered to actually troubleshoot issues, you can actually quickly scale up your troubleshooting capabilities, because platform engineers are a scarce resource. They don't scale.
Mm-hmm.
So by actually empowering application developers and even other roles like product owners or business owners to see what's happening with their IT environment, that's where the power comes.
Yep. Okay, fantastic. Thank you for the journey through observability and how we're impacting businesses and helping them become more productive and their applications more available and performant.
Yeah, I think there's one more.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, there is actually.
So give me more.
Give me more. So, like I said, we're tailored towards actually the non-experts, the application developers, great at building applications, probably very senior at writing code, but the moment it hits that platform, it becomes a black box to them. So by actually having all of that correlated data, you can actually quickly get to the root cause. And how do you do that if you don't know where to look and how to navigate? Well, that's what we provide our remediation guides for. So with these remediation guides, even a non-expert can easily navigate through that complex topology, that complex infrastructure, to quickly find the right place where to look and where to resolve the issue.
Okay, fantastic. I'm sure there's probably more, but we're going to run out of time today, so people can follow up and get the full story. Excuse me.
Thank you, Brent.
Absolutely, thank you. So let's look at a customer. Let's go back to NMDB or DP that is using SUSE Rancher Prime, and how did they achieve some of the results that they've achieved? Help delivering these life-saving digital services to patients with blood cancer and other disorders. As we already mentioned, NMDB adopted a Rancher and Kubernetes strategy. And their challenge was to reduce overall sprawl, standardize and simplify infrastructure and deployment processes for the developers. And why they chose Rancher was to deliver simple and consistent cluster management. Their environment was just growing in complexity. The tools were not scaling with that complexity, and each different environment required unique handling. So their process is, they first automated provisioning by reducing the developer workload and improving the application agility. This new approach offered significant advantages. Previously deploying an application, required developers to request a new server, wait for the server to be provisioned, and then manually configure load balancing and other key capabilities. Today, these process steps are automated, which significantly reduce the developer workload. And because cloud and on-premise deployments are now practically identical, the company can re-platform applications very rapidly, depending on business needs, responsiveness, security needs of a particular environment. NMDP migrated from Amazon's Elastic Beanstalk service that they were using to deploy Docker applications in AWS. And to achieve high availability, each application needed multiple EC2 instances, leading to a significant number of instances and very high costs. By moving to Amazon EKS with Rancher, Kubernetes takes care of the high availability with far fewer nodes. This saved them over 50% of their out-of-control AWS costs and freeing up money to be spent elsewhere towards their mission. Finally, Rancher Prime enabled them to streamline a common on-prem and in-cloud application delivery process. Before Kubernetes and Rancher, much of their infrastructure involved manual processes. Today, everything is code and everything is consistent, leveraging industry standard tools and deploying infrastructure and applications in the same way, whether it's on-prem or on AWS. This has been a real game changer to help developers be more productive and better support NMDP's mission. So you can see the tremendous impact that providing consistency in a hybrid or multi-cloud environment has on the business and on developers, and the developer productivity, developer satisfaction, etc., all greatly improves. So with that, I want to kind of move into a wrap up. We talked about the key challenges that organizations are going through, from optimizing cost to modernizing and security, and we looked at some of those, and the need to harness AI. SUSE is building solutions across Linux, cloud native, AI, and edge environments to help you address these. And in everything that we deliver, brings the SUSE value propositions with them: the open and enterprise ready, integrated security and governance, and unmatched ease of use. So with that, I'm gonna open it up to questions, see if we've got anything coming in. We've got just a couple of minutes left, so we may be able to do one or two if we do. If not, then we can move on to the wrap up. Today we've just scratched the surface, to give you some insight on what makes SUSE different. Not all vendors are created equal. Not all open is created equal. And at SUSE, we believe everything needs to be open and that you need to have choice. And that helps you innovate and deliver greater value to your customers. And so, we'd encourage you to reach out and talk to SUSE, understand how we can help you deliver greater value. There are many more customer success stories on our website for you to review and see how it could align with you. And we hope to talk to you again soon. And with that, thank you very much.